we don't know at this point.
All right. We're joined also by trial attorney Joe Tacopina. And Joe, I don't know if you heard us talking about this Georgia case, Lynn Wood, that it's been docketed by the Supreme Court. But it sounds like a very similar argument that we're seeing from Texas, accusing other states of not going through an appropriate process, especially with mail-in votes, because equal protection is not achieved for each voter because they didn't have the state legislatures take part in what they were doing. Is that a fair summation? Give me your take on that case from Texas.
It's a fair summation. I think this is a long shot, quite frankly. I quite frankly also think there's a bit of a potential for a dangerous precedent to be set in having one state ask a federal court to sort of police the voting policies and procedures of other states. That being said, this is it. I mean, this is clearly it when it comes down to deciding whether there's any shot at there being any disturbance of the voting results from this election. I mean, this is it. This will be the deciding factor. If the Supreme Court takes this on, and part of me really hopes they do, because, I think we'll get to the bottom of it. I think the American people who question the validity of these election results will have peace of mind. And as unusual as this may be, and as much of a case of first impression this is, it doesn't mean it's not ripe. And I think it could be ripe.
Leo, can I take one issue with my colleague Joe, who I have tremendous respect for? I don't think there's any danger of this at all. There is a legitimate argument. The states have the right to seek relief in the Supreme Court through original jurisdiction. The danger is whether or not there is a problem and it's not being addressed. I agree that this is the final resolution, but there's no danger with a lawyer in good faith following a case like this case, signed off by 17 other attorney generals, and saying, Supreme Court, here's our argument. Do we have merit in this argument? Decide, because it will serve a great deterrent to make sure that states comply with their constitution.
Do you think that, Leo, those 18 other states joining in gives more merit to the case if you're a court justice?
Oh, Heather, absolutely. I mean, you have 18 other attorney generals, and let's forget the left-wing media is just going to say these were states that supported by Trump. These lawyers have an obligation to file a brief in good faith. They're not going to run the risk of being sanctioned or referred to their state disciplinary bar. These are good faith arguments. I want to be very clear. The left is trying to get Donald Trump to say, quit, surrender. He's not a quitter. And I think Joe is right. We're going to get finality. But to discourage these 18 other states and the state of Texas to pursue their argument, I think is wrong.
Joe, what kind of remedy would you expect if they did go not to hear it, but maybe to read the briefs? Since their original jurisdiction, they can't kick it back to somebody else. So what would be a remedy?
Listen, a remedy would be, and I think Leo's right. He makes some really great points, and I think the remedy would be they take this, they accept this because this is not obviously an insignificant matter, and they accept this because for the good of the country and for our ability to move forward in this world and in this sort of world we live in now where there's such a divide. I think this is a good thing because I don't think people are going to think that the results of the Supreme Court, the review by the Supreme Court is going to be partisan. There is one thing I will say: the other states who joined are all red states, right? I mean, this is very political, and so while it may encourage the Supreme Court to look at it because 18 other or 16 other states have joined in, I mean, they could also look at it and say, wow, they're all states run by Republicans, not one by a Democrat. So it's very partisan along the way. I think that's why putting the Supreme Court in the middle of this thing, if they accept it, will be something that I believe will give us some finality and resolution in a way that's productive for both parties, for both sides, and most importantly for the American people.
And so people know there are 22 other states that kind of countered those 18 plus Texas. So it is very political, it looks, but that's why we go to the Supreme Court to make something not political as an answer. Joe Tacopina, Leo Terrell, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.